Welcome to the Longevity Handbook. Today, we're diving into the science of Seamoss, a nutritional powerhouse containing 92 of the 102 essential vitamins and minerals your body needs to thrive. We're here to keep you updated with the latest research and natural remedies to help you optimize your health every single day. Let's get started.
Raw marine botanicals operate as sophisticated biological technology. Their physical structure is evolutionarily tuned to capture and concentrate the complex elemental profile of the ocean floor within their cellular walls. To maintain cellular homeostasis, the human body requires a non-negotiable baseline of 30 specific micronutrients. This includes 13 essential vitamins and 17 minerals that the body cannot synthesize and must acquire from external sources. This graph maps declining soil mineral density since 1950. Industrial farming means soil no longer contains the complex mineral matrix of a century ago. Consequently, crucial elements like iodine, selenium, and magnesium have fallen below levels required for basic enzymatic function, creating population-wide deficiencies. Seamoss bypasses this terrestrial depletion by absorbing nutrients directly from the ocean. It naturally concentrates 92 of the 102 minerals present in the human body, serving as a highly dense mineral delivery system. The 30-day recalibration cycle provides an engineering framework to track how the body integrates this influx, mapping the sequential stages of systemic optimization. Correcting decades of mineral deficit requires more than standard supplementation. It necessitates an oversaturated marine mineral intervention to restore the elemental baseline. During the first 10 days, the recalibration targets the primary interface zones, the gastrointestinal and pulmonary pathways. The initial repair is mechanical, driven by carrageenan. This natural hydrocolloid acts as a soothing agent, physically coating inflamed mucosal tissue in the gut to provide a protective barrier for healing. This mechanical action extends to the lungs. High concentrations of potassium dissolve thick pulmonary phlegm, clearing the throat and bronchial pathways for easier respiration. As the gut microbiome adjusts to this dense marine fiber, it is common to experience temporary gas or bloating. This is a sign of local microbes recalibrating to process the complex structural carbohydrates. Because the gut is in a state of adaptation, sourcing is critical. To avoid introducing heavy metals or pollutants into a vulnerable system, the moss must be sourced from reputable providers who clean the raw material thoroughly. Beyond surface repair, the moss initiates biochemical detoxification using alginates. Alginates are chelating agents that physically bind to heavy metals like mercury and cadmium. Once captured, these toxins are neutralized and pulled through the digestive tract for systemic extraction. Simultaneously, sulfur compounds in the moss support the liver's production of glutathione. As the liver's master antioxidant, increased glutathione levels allow for more efficient organ-level filtration and waste removal. Phase 1 functions as a foundational sweep. By clearing obstructive mucus and extracting heavy metals, the body is physically primed for the high-efficiency absorption phase that follows. With digestive pathways clear, the recalibration shifts to the endocrine control center, the thyroid gland. An underactive thyroid often lacks the raw materials required for hormone synthesis. Seamoss provides a concentrated supply of iodine and selenium, which are the essential building blocks for thyroid health. These minerals act as enzymatic catalysts. They accelerate the conversion of inactive T4 hormones into the metabolically active T3 form, removing the hormonal bottleneck that causes lethargy. The presence of active T3 triggers a systemic response. Metabolism begins to accelerate, sleep quality vastly improves, and skin cell turnover increases, resulting in more efficient tissue regeneration.
Iodine also plays a regulatory role in estrogen metabolism. By helping the body modulate estrogen levels, Seamoss can assist in balancing the hormonal environment that often triggers the growth of uterine fibroids and ovarian cysts. This hormonal modulation extends to the hair follicles. The combination of iron and selenium helps manage DHT levels and supports the specific enzymes required to maintain thick, healthy hair growth patterns. At the cellular level, the 92 mineral matrix engages with cell wall receptors. These minerals activate the enzymes responsible for ATP production, the body's primary energy currency. This enzymatic boost increases cellular energy output, which translates to a noticeable lift in morning alertness and more stable energy levels throughout the day. With higher cellular energy comes improved insulin sensitivity. When cells can pull glucose from the blood more efficiently, The body avoids the sharp energy crashes that lead to intense sugar and snack cravings. By the end of phase 2, the body has transitioned from a state of hormonal stagnation to a system where metabolism is active and energy production is consistent. The final phase of the cycle focuses on the systemic circulatory network and the structural integrity of the body's tissues. This nutrient payload provides the minerals necessary for vascular control. Specifically, it allows cells to properly regulate fluid retention and release, which is essential for maintaining healthy blood vessel pressure. This fluid regulation results in visible physical changes. Systemic swelling in the legs and feet typically subsides, and inflammation in the abdominal region is reduced as the body releases excess fluid. The neurological system also stabilizes during this period. High levels of magnesium act as a biological dampener, helping to lower stress levels, manage anxiety, and quiet the signals responsible for restless legs. For joint health, iron and B vitamins act as necessary cofactors in the synthesis of connective tissue. By providing these raw materials, the moss helps maintain the density of the joint environment, reducing the friction and discomfort associated with arthritis. A similar structural repair mechanism supports the eyes. The mineral profile protects ocular nerves and blood vessels from oxidative damage, maintaining structures required for high-acuity vision. The cycle concludes with immune fortification. Peak levels of selenium activate T helper cells, providing the immune system resources to defend against viruses and bacterial infections. By day 30, the mineral recalibration is complete. Every major system, from the gut to the immune network, has been reinforced by the 92 mineral payload. This 30-day blueprint demonstrates that these health benefits are not isolated effects. They are the predictable outcome of filling critical nutritional gaps with highly bioavailable minerals. By comparing the nutritional density of Seamoss against the depletion found in modern soils, the data shows a significant metabolic return on the intervention, helping the body counteract environmental toxicity. To maintain this recalibrated baseline, the ongoing daily protocol requires exactly 1 to 2 tablespoons of Seamoss gel. To manage the strong seaweed flavor, the gel is most easily consumed when blended into a smoothie with lemon or ginger, which neutralizes the natural salinity of the moss. Vitality in the modern age requires looking beyond depleted terrestrial food. It requires utilizing the dense, untouched mineral matrices found deep in the ocean to restore our complete biological baseline. This officially completes the systemic recalibration session.
Knowing the nutritional profile of Seamoss is one thing. Actually preparing it in a home kitchen requires a specific, controlled process. In its natural, wild-harvested state, the plant is entirely inedible. It arrives desiccated, stiff, and heavily encrusted with sea salt and ocean debris. You cannot skip straight to consumption. Rushing the cleaning process leaves behind grit and impurities that compromise both the safety and the overall yield of the final product. Preparing the Seamoss requires a strict chronological sequence, a 2-phase protocol of rigorous purification followed by mechanical emulsification. This preparation is a necessary biological intervention to take these ocean-bound nutrients and make them accessible to the human body. Phase 1 begins completely dry. Before a single drop of water touches the plant, you have to initiate a mechanical extraction. By aggressively shaking and manually breaking apart the dry clusters, you force the heavy, embedded sea salt to dislodge and fall to the bottom. Only then do you submerge it in fresh water. Immediately, the loose sediment, dirt, and remaining sand pull away from the plant structure and cloud the basin. A single pass won't remove everything. Take the moss through deliberate rinse and massage cycles, physically working debris out of the rigid cell matrix. Continue until the water runs clear. That optical clarity is your metric that primary purification is complete. Next, you submerge the plant one last time and introduce freshly squeezed lemon juice. The acidity of the lemon interacts biologically with the moss, cutting through residual ocean odors and helping to soften the tough exterior. The vessel you choose for this step requires significant vertical space. As the dehydrated moss takes in the water, it needs a large volume of empty room to swell and expand. This entire first day is dedicated to a single objective: stripping away the ocean's footprint to isolate the pure botanical structure of the plant. The active cleaning is now followed by an overnight resting period. The plant requires time for passive, structural hydration. Over the next 12 to 24 hours, the moss aggressively absorbs the lemon-infused water. The spindly tendrils swell, taking on a thick, translucent texture. The next morning, the extraction protocol continues. You physically remove the lemon slices and pour the entire contents into a strainer to fully drain the infused water. One final cold water rinse is necessary here. This flushes away any lingering microscopic sediment that managed to loosen itself from the interior structure during the overnight expansion. What remains in the strainer is a fully hydrated, purified matrix, primed and ready for physical transformation. We move the moss into a mechanical blender. Achieving the precise ratio of fresh alkaline water to hydrated moss dictates the success of this phase. The constraint here is to start with a very small volume of water. It is easy to add liquid later, but over-diluting the mixture up front will ruin the final consistency. As blades engage, the vortex subjects the plant to heavy mechanical shearing. Fibrous cell walls are violently torn apart, breaking down into a cohesive suspension. Dismantling those rigid walls makes trapped nutrients fully accessible to the human digestive tract. You run the apparatus until you achieve a specific consistency, a thick, structurally stable, translucent gel. When the blades stop, the mixture should hold its shape on a spoon without running off. Once it reaches that heavy, smooth state, the emulsion is balanced and ready for storage. This final gelation takes a resistant, fibrous plant and converts it into a smooth, bioavailable material. The 2-day protocol concludes by transferring the stabilized gel into an airtight glass storage container where it will continue to set in the refrigerator. To achieve systemic nutritional benefits, the daily intake requirement is precise. You only need 1 to 2 tablespoons per day. But the process doesn't end when the jar is full. A highly concentrated layer of residual gel is inevitably left clinging to the walls and blades of the blender. To capture this remaining yield, we implement a zero-waste secondary extraction. For this, you pour a base like coconut milk and drop fresh fruit directly into the unwashed blending apparatus. Running the machine one final time pulls every last ounce of moss from the walls, creating a nutrient-dense smoothie while simultaneously stripping your equipment completely clean. Following this protocol ensures that the moss is properly purified and that the final yield is fully captured for use.